We begin tonight in Paradise Valley, where fire crews raced into action tonight to battle a massive house fire. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Kadiba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. The fire broke out just after 6:30 this evening, and firefighters have been hard at work to make sure the flames didn't spread to nearby brush and homes.
12 News journalist Bianca Bono is joining us live from the scene in Paradise Valley. And Bianca, what is the latest from fire officials?
Well, guys, we want to set the scene for you here. If you could see the large home that is lit up in the distance over my shoulder, we're told that's the homeowner's main house here in Paradise Valley. He also owned the property next door, which he was using as a guest house. That's the home that caught on fire. Now, the good news tonight, there are no serious injuries. We're told that homeowner did have some burn injuries to his leg, but in the past hour or so, fire officials telling me those injuries likely stemmed from the equipment that he was using, the same equipment he believes started the fire. A Paradise Valley mansion engulfed in flames.
That first captain's on-scene report was a well-involved home spreading quickly.
Phoenix Fire Captain Rob McDade says the call to first responders came in around 6:30 Wednesday night as fire raged through the property in the Mummy Mountain Park neighborhood, where sprawling homes sit on hilly desert terrain.
We've pre-planned these areas. We know the challenges that we face.
The homeowner telling fire officials he was using a backpack leaf blower when it started to overheat. He took it off and put it down, and he said the fire then started. Given the size of the fire when crews arrived, they took a defensive approach.
This is a very hilly area, vast amounts of fuel for fire. Our main focus was we have to contain the fire to that footprint.
As the flames ripped through the multi-million-dollar home,
we could feel the heat.
Father and son Lou and Lewis Warner watched from their nearby home.
And we were probably, I don't know, we were maybe 400 yards away.
They saw embers in the sky.
Any kind of wind, and we've seen Pacific Palisades. We got a little concerned when Lewis saw some pieces of paper falling out of the sky, and we're just watching very closely because they all landed in the very dry trees.
Thankfully, Phoenix and Scottsdale firefighters got the fire under control. The only injury was to the homeowner, and officials say it stemmed from the landscaping equipment.
We have these homes that are located in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. All this fuel wants to do is burn.
Though this large home is now a total loss, officials say they're grateful the damage didn't spread further and their preparation paid off.
A lot of stuff did work in our favor. We were able to secure water quickly. The wind was windy today, but we got lucky. Around sunset, it wasn't as windy. I think if we had sustained winds on here, it might have been a different story.
So again, Phoenix fire officials telling us the homeowner told them it was that landscaping equipment he was using that started this fire. But of course, fire investigators are out here tonight working to verify those claims. We're told they'll be back here again in the daylight tomorrow as well to continue that investigation. We're live in Paradise Valley. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
Bianca, thanks. We're also following developing news tonight out of Maricopa, where an investigation is underway after two people were found dead inside a home. Maricopa police say they were called out for a welfare check near John Wayne Parkway and Boland Road when they found the bodies. Officials tell 12 News there is no ongoing threat to the community. As they continue their investigation, the victims' names have not been released.
Turning now to an animal abuse case that investigators are calling one of the most disturbing that they have ever seen. Several dead and starving dogs locked away in a Gila Bend home. Now, the man deputies say is responsible for the abuse is behind bars. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with the sheriff's office about this case, and they say that the dogs, Chase, were not fed for weeks, maybe even months.
Caribe, one of the dead dogs they found was nothing but a skeleton. And tonight, the sheriff's office tells me the suspect in this case was a backyard dog breeder who would sell these animals through social media.
This is certainly one of the most disgusting and deplorable conditions I've ever seen an animal be in.
Close to 24 dogs and puppies trapped in kennels without food or water.
Various animals in various stages of abuse, neglect, and even death.
The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office said all of them were found outside a Gila Bend home. 3 dogs were dead, the others doing anything to survive.
There was a couple dogs that were feeding on a dead dog because it had been neglected for so long.
The sheriff's office says it was a neighbor who reached out to them about the abuse, saying they knew several dogs were at the home, but hadn't seen the owner in over 2 weeks. When detectives called that owner,
He refused to respond to the scene.
for nearly 5 days, they say the suspect, 38-year-old John Jackson, evaded law enforcement before he was finally arrested in Phoenix.
It is a disgusting and deplorable act by this person.
The sheriff's second in command, Chief Deputy Jeff Gentry, says about 18 animals in bad shape were rescued from the home and are now in county care. He couldn't say if all of them would survive.
I can't even go visit these animals because you have to dress up in a protective suit because of some of the diseases and things.
This is the second time Jackson has been charged with animal abuse in Arizona. The department says he's a known dog breeder in the valley with a massive social media following of more than 100,000 people.
Suspect was using social media platforms to sell these dogs. The dogs we're talking about here, Cane Corsos, a French bulldog.
Now, he's facing felony charges of animal cruelty, with the sheriff's office expecting more charges against him to be filed.
It's an utmost priority for this administration to go after those that abuse animals.
Because of Jackson's massive social media following, the sheriff's office is asking anyone who bought a dog from him to contact them immediately about this case. We're live in Phoenix tonight. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you. Well, temperatures are heating up here in the valley, and today rescue crews had to help a distressed hiker off of Camelback Mountain. Phoenix Fire says that the adult hiker was on the trail since 8:30 this morning and became overheated when they ran out of water. Crews made their way up Echo Canyon Trail and determined the hiker needed to be airlifted off of the mountain. Fire officials say that it's important to not overextend yourself when hiking valley trails.
Meteorologist Chris Dunn is here now, and tomorrow's not going to be a good day to hike either, especially if you're not used to these kind of temperatures, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why we have a weather impact alert, just to let you know that there's some serious weather, and we're not used to heat like this at this time of the year. Weather impact alert days for the next 3 days, record highs in the valleys, 100 degrees plus through the weekend. In fact, here are forecast highs in the valley. 100 tomorrow, 102 on Friday, 100 on Saturday, and a weather impact alert in effect for the next 3 days. As far as the temperature impact, our first round of 100 plus this year in the valley. And as far as the people impact, slow down during the heat of the day and stay hydrated. Here are some of the forecast numbers across the valley tomorrow. 99 in Maricopa, Chandler, 100 in Phoenix, 100 Goodyear, 99 in Buckeye. No matter how you slice it, it's going to be warm. And if you are going to do that hike, do it early. Do it before noon, well before noon. And make sure you have plenty of water, because once we get into the afternoon hours, you don't want to start that hike up Camelback or Piestewa Peak or Pinnacle Peak when it's near 100 degrees at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Back to you.
Chris, thanks. New at 10, a man has been indicted for multiple sex crimes that go back several years in both Phoenix and Glendale. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office says 45-year-old Dot Vu was indicted on felony kidnapping, sexual conduct with a minor, and sexual assault charges. The crimes allegedly occurred between 2000 and 2005. Investigators used DNA to identify Vu as a suspect. Speaking to 12 News today, County Attorney Rachel Mitchell had this to say to victims of sexual assaults whose cases haven't been solved.
Hopefully this example of 4 cases being charged gives a measure of hope that we have not forgotten about you, that we continue to work on cases to bring justice for the victims and accountability for the offender.
Now to the courtroom, where convicted murderer Lori Vallow Daybell is facing a lot of scrutiny as she represents herself at trial. She's already been convicted of killing her kids, Tylee and JJ, in Idaho. Now she's standing trial here in Arizona for conspiring to kill with her brother to kill her 4th husband, Charles Vallow. The I-Team's Erica Stapleton was in the courtroom today when 2 new witnesses gave bombshell testimony.
Some of this testimony was really uncomfortable. At certain points, I saw the jurors squirming in their seats, and some of Lori Vallow Daybell's line of questioning was questionable. I'll start with witness Nancy Jo Hancock. The state brought her in because she went on a date with Charles Vallow the night before he was killed. Hancock said he shared some of his troubles with Lori with her, and that he was excited to see his son the following morning. Then Lori Vallow Daybell, who is representing herself, got to cross-examine Hancock. Some of the questions she asked were brutal, like asking if she always goes out with married men. The state objected numerous times, even saying Vallow Daybell was harassing the witness. Hancock told the court that Charles Vallow told her he was in the process of separating from Lori because he thought she was having an affair.
Charles was ecstatic to see JJ. He was coming to see JJ, so excited to take him to school the next morning. Do you go on dates with married men? Naturally?
Argumentative. I'm going to also object under 611 for harassment.
So are you trying to tell me and this jury that you went on one date with my husband and he told you all the details of our lives? I'm telling you the truth, and that's what I know.
So you spent your whole date getting to know each other, talking about me.
Don't flatter yourself. No, we did not spend the whole time talking about you.
The last witness of the day was one of Lori's friends from church, who testified that Lori thought her husband Charles was possessed and that her brother Alex Cox stated he wanted to kill him, just 1 month before he actually did. She also told jurors of a time Lori talked about drugging Charles with their son JJ's medication. This was the first witness Vallow Daybell decided not to cross-examine. Testimony is set to resume Thursday morning. Erica Stapleton, 12 News.
Erica, thanks. You can watch the trial every day exclusively on 12+. Just download the app on your TV to watch for free. And then every night at 8:30, we'll have in-depth analysis about what happened inside the courtroom. Again, that's exclusively on our streaming app, 12+.